Media special report featuring Mississippi Attorney General Lynn Fitch. I'm your host, Jennifer Rash, and we are chatting with General Fitch about what it's like to be the face of the historic case that might just be the one to overturn Roe v. Wade. General Fitch, thank you for taking a few minutes to share with us today.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about the magnitude of this case and what it took to get there and what we'll be looking forward to as the opinion comes down.
I know we're all waiting. I think we're all in that pattern. It's been about 6 weeks now since the U.S. Supreme Court heard the arguments in the Dobbs versus Jackson case. And, as we're all sitting and waiting and trying to think through and learn what to do next, what's it been like for you? What are you doing in this interim?
Well, it's been incredible. And I will just say, as we got ready for the case to be heard on December the 1st, just the compassion, the prayers, the support for myself, for the team was just amazing. And so to be able to make the argument, file the brief on behalf of the state of Mississippi, which impacts not only our state, but every state in the country. And so now as we've finished that and we're moving into the second phase, we still have to continue to message, to have the prayers, again, think about what will happen as the opinion is rendered, what we'll do moving forward together as a nation, and what the expectations that might be coming from the justices. And again, how this changes the tapestry of our country.
Right. And, that's what I think just getting our heads around all of that is it's not as simple as it's overturned and everything goes away. So how are you helping educate the people in your circles and who all's pulling at you right now?
Well, we have such great partnerships. And again, opportunities just like this to talk about, again, the significance of this case, what it means, certainly from a faith-based perspective, what it means as we change, again, the dynamics of what this might look like moving forward for all of the respective states. Mm-hmm. So again, having all the partners, the friendships, the prayer support, the networking is just incredible. I don't think you could do this type of case if you didn't have all that and have all the support. Certainly when we got ready to prepare our brief, again, all that went into it and the angle that we took, because we wanted to holistically talk about empowering women, yet promoting life and how those went hand in hand. That was so key to have that conversation, to have a true dialogue about the empowerment of women, yet at the same time, how you protect the sanctity of life. Mm-hmm. And as we move forward into that became certainly our argument as well. It was key to talk about that to all of the justices, about women and how 50 years have changed. 50 years ago, things looked very different than they do now. And so as we move into phase 2, we still have to talk about the support network, talk about, again, how we pray for the response, what we'll do when there is some overturning, and, pray for these justices that are going through the issues on how they will handle, to what degree they might overturn Roe v. Wade and Casey. Maybe they overturn all of it, or maybe that's pieces and parts. But whatever they do, it's a very positive moment for all of us.
So true, so true. And then, whatever is decided, there's going to be disappointment on the other side. So how do we help the response? How do we help people know how to respond with maturity and responsibility, whatever that decision is?
Well, I think we certainly have to be very respectful. I think we have to show calmness no matter what. Even from the other side, we, again, have to look at what are the things that we can do together. And if as we all hope and pray that it comes down, that we do get the overturning, what do we do in our respectful states? Certainly we need to talk to our legislators. We need to be prepared for what are the next step. What does legislation look like? Again, how the implementation is going to affect all the people in our states. And it'll be a different dialogue in every state, as it should be. Every state is certainly different. And this is a rule of law question. But so when you push it back to the states where it should be, the people are ready. The people in each state are ready to do their jobs. They're prepared. Mm-hmm. So you look at what your state legislators can do. You look at your communities. You look at your involvement. Again, everybody rising to the occasion to, support these women, support the children. How do you, again, engage in all that? What's your long-term goals and strategic plan to help these women and these precious babies that are, miracles now being born? So it always is going to resort back to empowering women and, again, protecting and promoting life.
Mm. And I think too about in the various states, a lot of times there ends up being multiple forms of legislation that have different pieces and parts and restrictions and deadlines and dates. How can a layperson and all the people of faith who are trying to understand this, how can they best see what exists right now in their states, plus all the different bills that are being filed or being talked about? How can we best understand what's really the law and then how to deal with that?
Well, certainly each state, and I will say, as we've talked about the legislation that needs to be viewed,
Mhm.
those states need to be looking at it right now. We need to be taking action, preparing right now, as if this case comes down in a positive way. And I think that's key right now, to looking at each state and going, what are the laws that are in place? But yet, what do we need to be doing in this session? And most legislatures are going into session. Ours in Mississippi came back. So again, we need to take a hard look. I think it's going to be very helpful if you go to each state and you look at your laws, you get some information of what's in existence, and then possibly what needs to be filed. There are a number of groups that are very supportive that have some of that information, like the Concerned Women for America. They have, Right to Life chapters. Going to look at their information is going to be key. ADF. Alliance Defending Freedom. Any of those partners will have some great information to share.
Okay. Well, before I let you go, let us know just a little bit about you. Tell us about your faith background and how your faith has intersected your work as Attorney General.
Oh, that's the key to all that I do. And, I'm so fortunate when I started out, and I've been practicing law now for almost 37 years, which is hard to believe.
Wow.
But the opportunity to come back to the Attorney General's office, I started my career here. It's very humbling. It's such an honor. I have an amazing team. And so when I launched off to run for my first public venture, it's the first thing I'd ever done statewide. And I tell people all the time, you can't do these jobs if you don't have your priorities, you don't have your faith and your family and your friends. Because that's your support, and you're driven by your faith. And this is a wonderful job. It's a great opportunity, but you also have to rely on your faith. And what are the steps? And prayerful. Going forward, what do I do? You're always looking for that direction from God. And so, like I said, faith has always driven me in everything that I've done.
Well, fantastic. Well, I'm excited to get to chat with you, and I look forward to talking with you again soon when we finally do get the ruling. So,
absolutely. Well, you too. And if there's other information, we'll send it out to you as well. And it's so important. But thank you for having me.